Hello everyone and happy Thanksgiving! I can't believe it's already that time of year again. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Michelle and I'm a frugal foodie. I enjoy making delicious food for as little money as possible. If you're a subscriber, then you already know that I love the holidays and decorating my table for the season. This year, I'm trying to make Thanksgiving dinner for $20. With inflation, I'm not sure I can do it. I've got an exciting recipe to try and I'm happy to share my Thanksgiving video with you. It's been a long time in the making. It all started about a month ago at Dollar Tree. I like to shop for the seasonal items as soon as they put the stock out on the shelves. If you wait, everything will end up being picked over, and they had such a great variety. I swear every year it just gets better and better. They had so many cute things there this year, and I just kept looking at items that I thought I might like and ended up finding quite a few things. I thought these little scarecrows were so adorable. They had some really cute tins this year. You may have seen me purchase one of these that I ended up using for a utensil holder in my kitchen that I decorated a little bit, but these would be great for a centerpiece on the table, and they have quite a few floral picks in stock, so that may be a really good option. You may have seen my video where I did a $9 kitchen makeover, and I got this little thankful sign here at the Dollar Tree along with a candle, and I absolutely love my kitchen now. It was only a few bucks and it just really brightened the place up a lot. I love the pattern this year with all of the yellow flowers and pumpkins. I also thought this one was cute. If I had just a little bit more time on my hands, this section right here would keep me busy for a long time. I love making crafts and they have so many things. It just really gets my creative juices flowing, and all I want to do is craft, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of time these days. These bowls are so cute. I honestly don't know how I would use these for Thanksgiving, but they just make me happy looking at them, so I may pick these up. They also had these matching adorable saucers, and I thought they would have really looked cute on top of a white plate like this, or you could actually style this in a number of ways. They did have a lot to choose from in dishware this year, which was a pleasant surprise. They also had a lot of serving pieces, but I actually did pick up one of these red plates for myself. But if somebody wanted to make a theme dinner around this color, you could do that as well. I just love the vibrant color. Okay, let me show you what I got. I love these little chalkboard tag clothespins, and if I don't use them for Thanksgiving, I might use these for basket labels. And I purchased a couple more rolls of ribbon to add to my ribbon collection. Not sure if I'll use those this year, but I do need some Thanksgiving themed ribbons. I had these left over from last year, so I might use these again. I've been going through a plaid phase this last year or two, and it's not out of my system yet. Setting a beautiful table is so important to Thanksgiving dinner and really for any family celebration in my house. It's something that I really enjoy, and actually, I really think that my family has come to enjoy it over the years. It's funny because I have been so busy this holiday season that I wasn't going to do the holiday video this year. It's certainly not the Thanksgiving one, but my youngest son, kept asking me, "Mom, when are you going to do your Thanksgiving video?" And I kept saying, I'm not doing it this year. I'm just too busy. It just didn't work out. But then, I started thinking about that. And I also started thinking about some of my viewers that were requesting the holiday video again. And I realized, it's a fun event that we've got going on. So I hope that you like it as much as I do. I just really think that sitting around having a very good meal is just as important. Having it look nice, with the table settings and all of that. It just all wraps into that memory that we create with our families. I played around a little bit with the napkins, but not too much this year. I like the one on the right the best. I did have some orange linen napkins that I'm shocked that I didn't pull those out and try those as well, but I was just really feeling that one pattern, so I decided to go with that. It's the night before my Thanksgiving dinner. I really struggled this year in terms of what to make. I thought maybe I would make a small turkey, but the ones that were on sale, they wanted you to purchase $25 at the grocery store to get that sale, and I just wasn't going to do that. And to be honest with you, I just didn't have the room in my fridge. So I thought, why don't I make a roast chicken, but I will really glam this chicken out. I will make it the best that I can possibly make it with fresh herbs like parsley, thyme, and rosemary. Good morning. I am just getting my day started for my Thanksgiving day, and I always like to splurge a little bit and purchase these creamers during the holidays because I normally drink my coffee black, but this is my splurge, and wow, am I splurging. I have pumpkin spice latte cream with the pumpkin foam and with the pumpkin spice shaker. So I am all in. I also purchased something for the holidays at Bath and Body Works. I used to spend quite a bit of money there with different lotions and candles and things like that, but I've really been trying to save money, so I don't allow myself to shop there much anymore, but it is something that I like to do at the holidays, just to order a few soaps and candles, and this year I thought I would get one for Christmas and one for Thanksgiving. And this is the Christmas scent that I picked out. I'm sure it'll be great, but I think it's a new scent. And then I just purchased this snowflake and cashmere hand lotion that I've actually been needing, and that smells good. And then I got this marshmallow fireside hand soap for the bathroom, and I thought that this would be kind of a Thanksgiving smell that we would like. And when I ordered, I got this, kind of matches everything in my kitchen, and it's a citrus scent. So, see, I've got a lot of orange going on right now. And I love citrus scents, so that will work for the kitchen. And it smells so fresh and so delicious. I love it. Okay, and then I got this actually for my bathroom, and it's the champagne toast, and it's actually one of my favorite scents, so I love that. They had these single wick candles on sale for $8. I thought I would try one of these, one for Christmas. This was the Christmas scent that I got that I'm going to put away until then. And then I purchased another one for Thanksgiving. And here is the second candle that I got for Thanksgiving. And again, it's actually a Christmas scent. It's Merry Cookie. but it smells absolutely delicious. Smells like I'm cooking when I'm not really, and I love to have this the smell in my kitchen. So these are the scents that I usually use. I'm all about scents, and I love to have a scent constantly going in my house. It just smells good, and especially around the holidays. I'm wondering what you guys do for your families around the holidays. If there's anything special that you do, I would love to hear about it. And now that I've sufficiently set the mood for Thanksgiving and the holiday, let's start preparing our table. So here is what I picked out for Thanksgiving dinner. And like I said earlier in the video, I did struggle a little bit in terms of what I wanted to make this year, but I did end up purchasing this whole chicken from Aldi. I think it'll work perfectly with all of the fresh herbs. I got the stuffing mix at Aldi. As always, I will leave an itemized list with prices in the description. I did get the pumpkin and evaporated milk. I got one acorn squash, which I expect to be the least popular item of my entire meal. However, I wanted it, so I got it. I got a great deal on the potatoes for $1.50 for a 10-pound bag. I got celery, which was a little higher than I normally spend on that. The cranberries were a good deal at $1.49 at Aldi. I am super excited to make cranberry salsa this year. I have wanted to make this recipe for the last 2 years. It calls for cilantro, jalapeno pepper, green onions, cream cheese, and cranberries. And you saw that I purchased the herbs earlier, the rosemary, the thyme, and that's actually some Italian parsley. I am going to make a chicken that my family will not soon forget. I purchased a loaf of bread at Walmart for $1, and I went ahead and got the pre-sliced kind of bread because I'm going to use that with my cranberry salsa, and I thought it would make my life a lot easier. I picked up 2 packs of gravy, and we can definitely talk more about the gravy later, because now we need to get down to what this all cost. I came right in at $21.47, so I was not able to meet my $20 goal. However, I am super happy about the items that I got, and I have to say I do have about 8 pounds of potatoes left over, and I have 4 eggs left over. If you want to make this recipe for yourself and you want to trim the budget, skip using the fresh acorn squash, maybe add a canned vegetable, and also use dried herbs rather than fresh herbs, and that's going to save you quite a bit of money. You could also substitute Dollar Tree instant mashed potatoes for the potatoes if they're not on sale where you live. Here are the ingredients for the cranberry salsa, and I used a lime, the fresh cranberries, cilantro, a whole jalapeno pepper. Of course, you can use less if you want. And also it calls for a brick of cream cheese. However, our family does love goat cheese, so I am going to try it with the goat cheese and see how I like it. But the cream cheese was in the budget, so we're going to use that, and also some sugar, because we need to use the sugar to tame those cranberries. So I'm just going to start by rinsing all of the cranberries and putting them in a large bowl. And there's so many cranberries in here that I thought I could just save a few out to make myself some fresh cranberry sauce with that. I'm pretty much the only one in my family that likes cranberry sauce, so that will work. And then I've got a Ninja and it happens to be already out, so I'm just going to pour these in that and pulse it up a little bit because the recipe does call for chopped cranberries. Some people like the cranberries finer than other people. I in particular thought that it would be beautiful with some of them a little bit larger in size, so I left some of the cranberries out so that I could chop them up, and this was a little bit difficult because they kept rolling all over the place. But yeah, I just thought it looked a lot prettier with some of the larger pieces mixed in. So we're going to add a half a cup of sugar to the cranberries. If you've never tasted a fresh cranberry before, they are kind of tart, so that sugar will help to mellow them out a bit. When I wanted to write down the recipe, I just went on Google and looked up a blog that had this recipe on there. Basically everybody has had this recipe in the last couple years, and I copied everything down. It said what did it say? It said 1 cup of cilantro chopped, and I was about to add it into the mixture, and I was like, oh no, we are not putting 1 entire cup of cilantro in there. So I think what happened is they must have written it down wrong or something, but if I would have ended up putting the entire cup of cilantro in there, it would have just been absolutely overwhelming. So instead I went ahead and did 1/4 of a cup of cilantro and a few stalks of the green onion, and I did put the entire jalapeno pepper in. When I first tasted the salsa, it tasted pretty hot, pretty spicy, and so I was wondering if maybe I should have put a half of a jalapeno instead. But later on, when I ended up putting it on the bread and the cream cheese, it ended up being perfect. It had just the right amount of bite for me and for my family as well. They absolutely love this. I was shocked because my oldest son doesn't like cranberries, and actually my youngest son really doesn't eat cranberry sauce either. But everybody loved it. I had 4 people for dinner, and we all liked it very much. But if you are sensitive to heat, certainly put less in there for yourself. Another thing about this is you want to put it in a glass dish in the refrigerator for a while, and then some of the liquid is going to pour out of the cranberries, so you're going to want to drain that out. And the classic way that they're serving this that I saw on the internet is they put it over a block of cream cheese. I didn't do that for a couple of reasons. First of all, I didn't want to serve it that way because I knew it wouldn't keep as well, and I wanted to do individual serving dishes. So that's how I ended up serving mine, but certainly you can do it however you want to do it. And I also knew that I wanted to try it with some goat cheese, which I did right here. And I purchased these crackers at Aldi, and originally I was thinking that maybe I would use these for my dinner, but they were like $3. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog, but these are the struggles that I have when I'm trying to edit my videos. My dog wants to play with the rope. But anyway, but these crackers were like $3.65, which was really expensive. It's a nice box of crackers because you have quite a few varieties, but I just thought that was crazy expensive, especially when we're trying to do a $20 budget. And I even looked at Walmart to see if there were any inexpensive boxes, and there were a few for like $2 something, but they were just really basic crackers, and weren't going to look as good with the cheese spread. But oh my gosh, you guys, this absolutely made my day a success for myself, just because I discovered an amazing new recipe, and it was so much better than I ever thought it was going to be. And there are quite a few uses for this. First of all, it would make amazing turkey sandwiches afterward as a spread on top of the bread. But yeah, everybody loved it. If you haven't tried it already, which you probably have, I think I'm probably the last person in America to try it, definitely give it a shot and let me know what you think. For the pie, we're going to be using 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, a 1/2 cup of butter, and a fourth of a cup of ice water. Now, a lot of people use shortening for their pies. I'm going to use butter just because that's what I've got on hand. If you do plan on making pies regularly, I would go ahead and get some shortening because it's a lot cheaper than butter. In fact, it's going to cost less than half as much as butter. You can get a great value tub of all vegetable shortening, 48 ounces for $4.12 at Walmart. And if you're getting butter, you can get the great value butter, unsalted butter, 4 sticks for $3.28. So that's 20 cents an ounce as compared to if you're purchasing the shortening, it's 8 cents an ounce, just over 8 cents an ounce. So it's quite a bit of a difference. And honestly, making pies are really inexpensive. I haven't made a pie for years, but I did used to make quite a few for Thanksgiving. I would make, cream pies. I would make apple pies. I would say apple is probably one of the least expensive. You can get a can of apple for $1.67, and this, this pie crust probably is going to cost you, including the butter, would cost you probably about $1. Yeah, I would say about $1 in ingredients. So with $1.67 for the apple pie, you're well under $3. So that's pretty good. I will say also that one of the keys to making a good pie dough is to try to handle it as little as possible and use as little water as possible in the dough so that it ends up being nice and flaky. I've been keeping my eye out for the pumpkin pie mix for quite a while now, and I picked it up I think a few weeks ago at Aldi, and I think it was around 85 cents. So I picked up a few cans when it was on sale, and recently I just looked at Aldi and it was a little bit higher. So it's always a good idea when you've got the holidays coming up to look out for those and stock your pantry with them. So if you missed out on this for this Thanksgiving, I would keep an eye out for your Christmas dinner and try to plan that ahead now and just stock up while you can when those items are on sale. This is great because once you master pie crust, which is actually really easy to make, you can use the same recipe and make mini pies. You could make mini little fruit pies or mini pumpkin pies. You can also make empanadas with basically it's the same recipe. You just add eggs into the mixture, but you can have fun with doing that as well. Okay, so it's funny about these. I've got these little cookie cutters left over. I did look at Walmart. I wanted one of the little leaf cutters, but I couldn't find that in any of the stores. So when I was making it, I thought maybe I'll just try to use one of the cookie cutters that I have. So, but the funny story is about this. It's really in the little small details that people are impressed or your family's impressed with your dinner. And so I used a little star cutout for this, and it's so funny because when my pie was done, all my boys could talk about was this silly little star. They're like, "How did you make that star?" And I'm just thinking to myself, it's so funny. This is the small little thing that they notice. And also, they were asking me, "How did you make the pie crust like that?" And when they said that to me, I thought to myself, wow, it's really been a long time since I've made these pies if they don't remember this pie crust. If you're a viewer from a different part of the world, I will say, I know my friends to the north do have a Thanksgiving that seems to be, the Canadians seem to have a Thanksgiving that's very similar to ours. But here in the U.S., Thanksgiving is just a day for us to thank God for our blessings. It's also a day for some people to really, where it's not about religion at all, and they're just enjoying football or giving thanks for their family. But that's pretty much what it is. It's a national holiday. We all get off work and just cook this big, huge dinner. And the fare is typically American pilgrim type cuisine. So anyhow, now I'm making the pumpkin pie filling, which is super easy to make. So I've got the recipe in the description. I just showed you a picture of the pumpkin pie spice. If you're new to baking or you're new to cooking and maybe you don't have quite enough money to purchase the individual ingredients, feel free to just purchase that one and you can use that in place of all of the other ingredients because it already has the ground cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves all in that one bottle. I found the perfect use for this mini cast iron skillet that my son got me for my birthday. So I'm just making a single serve portion size of cranberry sauce, and I just happen to have an orange in the refrigerator, so I'm going to go ahead and add that along with some sugar, and I'm just going to cook this for a little while. And if you've never done this with fruit yourself, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot. Whether it be raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, especially those frozen packs you get from the Dollar Tree. They are so delicious when you just add them to a pan and add some sugar and a little bit of water, and it just turns into this, oh, it's just absolute goodness right here. I could have just stood here and eaten this out of the pan. It was so good. And I have to say, I do prefer my cranberry sauce warm. I know a lot of times it's served cold, but I really do prefer it warm. And it was so delicious. The gravy turned out just okay. Honestly, I would have rather tried to make it with a piece of bouillon so that I could try to see if we could do it for about 15 cents, but I didn't, and the chicken turned out spectacular. I did just keep basting it with butter, and at the very end, we basted it with the mixture with garlic because garlic on the outside will burn, and so I wanted to add that at the very end, and these squash were very good as well. But like I said, if you want to add some brown sugar, your family may like it a little bit better. I honestly like a lot of vegetables with just olive oil, salt, and pepper, and those were really for me. So they ate them, but I just don't think that, acorn squash is their favorite. So here is the gravy, and I did also have to drain the cranberries. I explained that to you earlier, so just make sure that you do that before you serve it. And I served it in these individual serving containers. And yeah, this chicken turned out so moist, and my entire family absolutely loved it. So I'm really glad I decided to go with the chicken this year. I want to say thank you so much for all of my subscribers and all of my viewers. I really do appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a very, very nice Thanksgiving. If you do end up decorating your Thanksgiving table, please do shoot me some pictures. I would absolutely love to see how you guys do your Thanksgiving holidays and your table. Thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.